This is an Antioch University academic technology tutorial on creating groups to use forums in Sakai. Let's start in a sample course. We have small group forum topics in Sakai that are only open to the people in the groups. Then the first thing you need to do is create your groups. You do this under Site Info in the Manage Groups tab. You'll see in this course I have no groups defined yet. So we'll start by clicking the Create New Group tab. In this case, I'm going to name my first group, Group A. I can give it a description if I like. And then down below, from the available members, you select the members that you want in the group by pushing them into the right side. In this case, I have 9 students, and I'm going to make 3 groups of 3 students each. When you're done adding your students, you can select the Add New Group button, and that will create your group and bring you back to the group homepage where it will show you all the groups that exist, and it will allow you to delete a group if you need to. If you want to create another group, just come to the Create New Group tab again and do the same process. Now, if you want to select students that are one right after each other in your list, you can click Student 4 and hold down your Shift key and go down and click the last student. And you can select multiple students and push them over together. Again, we'll click the Add New Group button. And you'll see now I have 2 groups. Now we'll create the last group, Group C, and I'll add the members. Now, if you have students in here and they are alphabetical, for example, and they're not right next to each other, you can hold down your Control key after selecting the first student, and you can select non-consecutive students to add to the group. If you've added students to the group that you don't want in there, simply click on their names and push them back to the left. So for this group, I actually want students 7, 8, and 9, and now I can select number 7, and I can hold Shift or Control in this case because they're next to each other, and click that one. And now all 3 are in my final group. Once you've created your groups, you can go to Forums, and you have 2 choices. You can put your small group discussion forums in your main class forum, or you can create a new one. Either one is perfectly fine. For example, some courses have small group project work that they work on in weeks 4, 5, and 6. And you could put new topics for your week 4, 5, and 6 group discussions in here, or you can create a new forum called small group discussions or something like that. You can call it project work. You don't need to give it much in the way of description. And you can just scroll to the bottom and hit save. So this will just create a separate forum where you can put your small group discussions in. To do your small group discussion, you'll need a new topic. And this topic might say, for example, week 4, group work, group project, selection. And you could give them some description as to what you would like them to do in this group forum. And go down and pick the settings as you usually do. Your usual selections are, I like what's automatically checked, and then I also check automatically marked messages in the conversation as read, so students don't have to do that manually. And you'll see this new section called Automatically Create Topics if you have groups and if this is a new topic. You can select this automatically create multiple topics for groups radio button, and then select which groups to automatically create a topic for. What this does is it duplicates this topic the number of times that you need so that you don't manually have to create these groups. And when you hit save, it will then create one topic for each group. So you'll see it added my group names, Group A, Group B, and Group C to the week 4 project work. It created 3 different sections so that they could each work in their own section. And in the topic settings, you'll see that it set the permissions down here at the bottom so that all students have no permissions, they can't see it, and only the students in Group A are contributors. Students in Group B are not, students in Group C are not. Similarly, in the Group B topic, Group B would be set as a contributor, and in the Group C topic, Group C would be set as a contributor. So this quick little widget does all the work for you for small groups. I'll just hit save. The one thing that is ideal, if you haven't named your groups in a way that students know which group they belong to, is in your topic settings for each one, you might put the names of people who are in that group here, and click save. Then it's very clear who's in what group. It says here in the short description, Bonnie, Cat, and Amy. You know, another way to do it will be to talk about the topic. If you had the topic for this group, you could put that in there and they would know what topic they were on. I like explicitly putting their names in there so that it's ultra clear, but you could do that, or you could do both. Just to let them know what these are about. You can also put these in the title instead of the short description, whatever makes the most sense for your class. Lastly, if you're linking these forums to a lessons page, for example, in week 4 or in module 4, you'll want to link all 3 groups. Only the group that the student is in will show on their page though. So for example, under required activities, we could add a link to a forum or topic, and we could select week 4, group A, and then you'll need to do it again for week 4, group B and C. Now, all 3 of these things will show up on your page as the instructor, but only the one of the group that the students is in will show it up. So only group A will show on Bonnie and Kat's page and Amy's page, or that those names I use. And then Tate, and Kevin, and Andy will see group B. If you don't put them on the page at all, you don't put all 3 on, then whoever's in the group that you didn't include won't see that forum link on their lessons page. So we recommend making sure that you link all 3 groups to the page. Okay. So that's how you use groups in Sakai forums. You can also use groups if there are group projects that need to be submitted in assignments, and we'll do that in another tutorial. If you have any questions, email us at at@antioch.edu.